5 years ago I said this is the best tank in tier 10. 5 years later I still agree with this. This is the best tank in the game they can get for free. Now, a lot of people that hate the 183, they say it's the worst tank destroyer. And they're right, it is the worst tank destroyer. And simply because this is not a tank destroyer. It is a brawler. It is a separate tier of tanks. Because the playstyle is very different than what you would expect. For example, you have the grill or you have the off PC4, but these are camping tanks. These camps you hide, you put your turret in the back and you camp. FV183 is completely different. This, if you play it that way, of course, it's gonna suck. Now, I'm gonna show you 3 matches. One of the matches I did really well, but I made a horrible mistake because I'm an anxious person. But I want you to first of all judge the match. Number one, when you play the FV183, the first thing you should do is evaluate the game. So, for example, I saw that there's 2 people going towards the left side to the medium lane. And I know that there's only one medium, this project. The project is going to be dumb and go to the C side. I mean, as far as I'm guessing here with my game sense. But this gives me an opportunity. Usually people go into the middle and I can get an easy shot. So look at this. I get a very beautiful shot into the projector within HESH.
Enemy armor is damaged.
With RNG? Yes, but you're gonna get a lot of those shots if you play smart with FV183. Now, had I got the traditional way and only the heaviest, I would have not had as an easy of a shot towards the projector. But again, this tank's all about playing smart, and here I'm playing the opposite of that because I got a little bit greedy after that shot. I know I got spotted. I should have reset my camo, but
gotcha.
That's the thing about this tank. You get lucky at times and you get really horrible luck. Especially with the HESH. Sometimes you might get shots break to 1,400 damage. Sometimes you might splash when you shouldn't have. But this is the and this is also what I mean by brawling. You do not stay in the same spot. You can rotate depending on where the map or where your team requires you to be. And that you understand from game sense. Okay, my team is kind of pushing it towards the middle, so I should help them and support them from the other side of the middle. Now here I made a mistake because I overlooked the 183, which he caught me by surprise. This
the gunner's injured. The commander's injured. He's on focus.
Had they given it an extra second, I would have probably done full damage. And again, that's what I'm talking about. It's RNG as well. And sadly here I mess up by a single second. But again, if you are playing well and you know how to control the areas, people generally respect the 183 because they don't want to get. Nobody wants to get shot. Nobody can win against the 183 in a flat land in one-to-one. So nobody even dares to mess with you. So you have a special ability, I would say, where you control the areas of the map. Here, for example, I noticed nobody went left, so I went towards right, but I would have loved to go there. And yes or not, I said the 183 is more of a brawler, but here I'm going to be doing a little bit of camping. But this is because it's right for the situation. You have to understand where it's right, where it's wrong. In this case, I saw the biggest light get shot and I knew there was a tank there. I took a slight risk, but I did get a nice slap in the face. Yep. Oh, we gave a nice slap in the face, my apologies. But that's the thing, this tank requires a lot of game sense. Understanding how the other person will play, when the other person will, for example, leave the position, when you can aim. And from here, for example, I knew that spot would be very juicy, very profitable if I keep at it. So I pre-aimed at that spot because it would have just been a loss had I just went somewhere else at this moment, of course. And as you see, I got my result. Now again, thinking towards right side, if you look towards the right side, would you say it's a good idea to go right? Probably not. Why so? Because that means I have to face those people head on, so the best idea in this case is try to go for a flank. Had the medium tanks or light tanks when C, or just light tanks, has it like that when C, or medium tank when C. No, the projector went to the middle. I rushed here. But yeah, understanding that there's nobody at my flank C, I know I can go towards the middle and sort of flank them because there is nobody in my left side as well. Or there's nobody in my left side as well.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
I have no idea what the projector was doing, but that was a very nice shot. And again, here I have two calls, and it's also about the game sense. Again, it's all about the game sense. Should I go back or should I push the ground wagon? I know that I might have taken some damage, but it was more profitable for me to push the ground wagon than stay in the same spot because the
enemy vehicle destroyed.
Especially with the Jagger route. Now, here comes the second question: should I deal with the Jagger route head on, or should I help the T11 or E5? And I choose to help T11. Despite that, because I figure the Jagger has a very difficult time with mobility, so I should have helped the T11 so he can help me. And here is where I start making mistakes, which are okay, they happen. Had I stayed and aimed at this was a nice shot. Sorry, I got very distracted. Yeah, had I stayed and kind of with the Jagger, there might have been a bigger chance of victory here. But props to him, he's played very well as well. Or she's played very well as well. This is another with the 183 is that when he hits so many good shots, get this confidence where you can do it again and again. And you get hit with the reality where those were just lucky shots and they weren't quite skillful, just lucky. And when it comes to a one-on-one fight like this, you really don't want to push it down to luck. You want to minimize luck as much as you can and play it on skill. I panic right over here, and this is the moment I knew that I've lost. And it's sad because the 183 is such a good but a lot of its shots might mess you up in a way that stresses you out. And this is the moment that even if you can save and salvage the game somehow, I know. And that's the sadness and the beauty of the tank.
Let's go.
Now this is another thing I want to show you. Usually I go with light tanks or medium tanks towards their lane, but in this case it was very profitable for me to go to the heavy lane because and when you draw, when you put yourself out and coming in the back, you can have one shot like this. And this is a little bit of a greedy, but it's also playing smart because I knew that the other tanks that have lower DPMs can lower damage shots can deal with them. I wanted to get a nice HESH shot on them, but yeah, there's also a syndrome that a lot of the AP183 players that I'm always, even myself doing, is always thinking that they HESH, even when you sort of don't have to, and it's a bad trade-off or a bad habit.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Because like a shot like this with maybe it's perfectly fine, even the shot from behind, but it's just so fun. In a way, it's just why not? And sorry, yeah. Right.
Enemy armor is damaged.
I have to, but the fact that I dealt 1,500 damage is really fun, and this is the main reason why a lot of people respect the FV183. People are scared of losing out their health. If you are so scared like a T30, you're not gonna mess with the 183 that's a tier above and does literally your entire damage of health. And that's the thing. If you know how to use the feel, if you know how to play and control the areas, to brawl, to not say mess with people, but to get that respect that you deserve with this tank, you can do wonders. So for example, I've been playing this tank for a long time. So if you take a look here, if I'm not wrong, I was at 1.60%, but when I came back to the game, I kind of messed it up. I have 2 masteries in this tank and 57% win rate, and this is literally one of my favorite tanks in all of the tiers. In tier 10 is my favorite, but in terms of tier 10, in terms of practicality, in terms of how fun it is to play, it definitely is 183 simply. And it's not just the damage that it does, it's just the playstyle is very unique compared to other tanks, where you normally, for example, if you look at IS-4 and IS-7, you can make mistakes, but you're sort of forgiven with this iron armor. So even if you get shot, that's okay. But 183, you kind of don't have anything that saves you. And every single mistake that you make really weighs into your team. But that's the same is, or the opposite is true as well. So for example, if you make any really good plays, it really plays heavily for your team because of the amount of damage you can dish out with a single match or in a single shot. Say that at times, even if you get like 1,500 damage, which is a high roll for HESH, you can turn the tide around. So even a single shot from this tank can turn the game around. Whereas if you're playing a tank like IS-4, IS-7, 121B, or let's say T-54, T-62, and so forth, or Object 263, you need to take plenty of shots. You have to play smart with this tank. I mean, you do have to play smart with the 183 as well, but it's mostly about how you position yourself. So this tank is mostly positional, and it requires more game sense. So if you got those two figured out, you would be able to enjoy this tank to its fullest. But again, it takes a lot of games to really go from wow, this tank actually sucks to wow, this tank is amazing. Again, this comes from experience, but if you give it time, you give it a chance to really grow on you, you're gonna love this tank. And all of the suffering that you have to go through to get this to this tank is gonna be hella worth it.